everybody, my name is Josh, and in this episode we're going to talk about JK Rowling, her transphobia, and how we move forward in the fandom. If you or anybody you know needs help or support, please feel free to contact the Trevor Project, GLAAD, the Harry Potter Alliance, or many other great organizations out there. Links available in the description below. The subject we're going to talk about today is not an easy one. It's something that I know I've been struggling with since I first kind of heard the news that JK Rowling is transphobic and has transphobic thoughts. We're gonna dive into those statements here in a little bit, but I just wanted to say that I'm not an expert. I've done research, and again, those links will be in the description below, and I'm still learning, and I, as a cisgendered white male, am coming to this conversation as wanting to listen and to learn. I do want to speak out, and this is why I'm starting on my YouTube channel, but I thought I would start there to say that I'm open for listening and learning. The other point to make before we move too far is this. First and foremost, trans women are women, trans men are men. They're the ones that need our support right now, and they're the ones who need your love and your care and your concern. My job is to listen and to hopefully maybe educate a little bit and to help respect those folks who need help and to help elevate the voice of those who've not had that privilege. And of course, first and foremost, it's to love everyone for who they are. These are principles that have been taught to me over the years through many different sources and many different lessons, but the first place they were taught to me was in the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter is something that means a lot to me. It's something that's foundational. It's something that I consider to be a work of art that is irreplaceable in my life. And to come to terms with the fact that the author of this work, who has over the years, especially since she's become more and more public about her opinions on the platform Twitter, has become more and more problematic. I encourage you to go listen, watch, and read from transgender artists, writers, critics, creators, people who are experts on this subject. Their voice matters. And please remember that we need to support and love our transgender friends the most right now. Their opinion and their feelings are paramount. Having said all that, you may be thinking, why are you speaking up now? Why are you starting a YouTube channel with this video? Well, here's why. If you know anything about me, you probably know that I love culture, I love story, I love nuanced conversation, and I love Harry Potter. It's one of the things that I love the most in the world, and it's helped define a lot of my identities. I'm an artist and an educator, and it's there. I'm a person, and I have my own personal identities that have been influenced by this work, and to see that the Harry Potter series has been so fundamentally hurt and changed and crushed by the awful and transphobic views of its author is something that really rocked me to the core. I can't not speak about it at this point. The Harry Potter books and movies and fandom have changed who I am. They've shaped who I am. And as that fandom grows and changes, I want to grow with it. The vast majority of fans, including myself, for a very long time have hated the opinions of JK Rowling on this subject. The Harry Potter books don't promote transphobia, nor do they send an anti-trans or an anti-anything message. If there's any anti-anything, it's anti-hate and anti-fascism and anti-racism. The overall message is that love is the most powerful magic in the world. I have memories, thoughts, loves, safety, life lessons, moral standards that were all taught by Harry Potter. Harry Potter helped make me who I am, and it helped shape the way that I fight for justice in this world. Harry Potter was my safe escape when I had nothing else. And now it's not. In the description of this video, I have placed many links and resources that I read to help educate myself while making this video. One of the most important of them was a book called Sorted by Jackson Bird, a transgender writer and Harry Potter fan. It really helped shed some light on dealing with JKR's transphobic thoughts and ideas, and I suggest you all read that as well. There are many other great resources there. please take the time to engage with them and take the time to read and watch and create an opinion of your own. I'm going to go over some of the details of the situation, but just to make sure we're on the same page, please know that this is a larger story and I can't cover every detail here in this video. Never let one video or source or opinion or article be the sole reason you learn from something. Reach out, learn more. I don't want to read JK Rowling's words either. I feel that her platform is large enough and I don't want to give a voice to those words. I have linked some of them in the articles below, and with a simple Google search you can find them yourselves. It's important to know both sides of a story, but I didn't want to present them here so that they don't cause any further harm or damage. JK Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series as well as the Fantastic Beasts series that's currently ongoing, the Casual Vacancy, the Cormac Strike novels, and an upcoming children's fantasy novel. TERF stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. These are a group of people who do not believe that trans women are women. They do not believe that trans women's gender identity is legitimate, and they are exclusionary towards trans women, towards any sort of rule or law or just general existence in the same situation as cis women. More and more recently, over the last 6 to 9 months, and possibly even longer, JK Rowling has been showing her support for the people of the TERF movement, from following and liking to sharing and retweeting. Earlier this month, she retweeted an article that used the words "people who menstruate" in place of the word "women" to be more inclusionary. JK Rowling took issue with this and made inappropriate jokes trying to make words that sound like the word "woman," implying that they could have just used the simpler word. When looking at the facts of the situation, there are even biological women who do not menstruate for many reasons. The article itself was trying to be inclusive towards anybody who does, which would also include trans women. This is one of many examples over the course of the years that JK Rowling has now tweeted and said more and more transphobic things. And in her next line of defense, she posted an article on her website dealing with her views on women and gender and trans women. This essay comes out as very transphobic, as though she cites very few sources. The ones she does cite are connected directly to the TERF movement. Again, all of this information is available for you to find in the links below, as well as out there on the internet. JK Rowling has a large platform. She has a large influence. It takes so much longer to re-educate and eliminate the hateful stances and harmful stereotypes that a person with her size platform can present out there. We can't just say, "Oh, that's not true," and people will believe us. Science, education, and research is taken to prove what one celebrity or one person of power says out there to be true. Celebrity is power in our culture. And that power means you have a platform. And when you use words that are hurtful and harmful towards people, then you're normalizing those hurtful and harmful words. And by endorsing this wrong point of view to millions and millions of people who may or may not want to look at or challenge this idea, what she's saying is dangerous. She's supportive of so many different causes and ideas over the course of her entire career, and yet with both her words and money she chooses to not fight, which is one of many signals to me that says that JK Rowling has transphobic views and ideas. Her words are saying it, her values are saying it, her choices are saying it. She's saying that they're not seen and they're not valid when they are seen. To have someone who has created a work of fiction who means so much to so many people about standing up for justice and rights, to use these words and to be so insanely hateful is painful. Her words and ideas are painful. They should be painful to all empathetic people, and they're not just painful to those who are affected directly, and while they are the most affected, and again, their feelings are prominent, and they are the ones who we should be helping and supporting right now. It affects anyone who reads these words. At one point or another, if you loved JK Rowling's work and you found hope and safety inside those stories where it wasn't given anywhere else, it's painful to have the creator say these harmful, hateful things. These words are dangerous. JK Rowling, in her response to the situation, has proven that she's not willing to listen and to learn. Many people of the transgender community have reached out to her to want to have a conversation with her, to want to help her learn and grow, and she just refuses. Instead, she's digging in and doubling down on these hateful and harmful words and thoughts. This is another reason of how I know and I see that JK Rowling is transphobic. In the light of all of this, there are things in the Harry Potter series that we have to view differently. Again, I want to reiterate, I don't believe that the Harry Potter series has transphobic or any anti-sentiment towards anyone. But in rereads, we may look at things a little bit differently, knowing JK Rowling's stance. Something that was progressive in the 90s, 30 years ago, is definitely not progressive now. We are people who need to learn and grow and change and accept that as we have privileges in this world, we also need to use those privileges to help those that don't, and to give a voice and to elevate. And we need to be looking to support everyone in this world, because everyone has a place and everyone deserves to have a place in this world. I've read these books many times. For a long time, I did a yearly reread of the Harry Potter series, and each time I learned something new. Next time through, it might just be JK Rowling who I'm learning about, not Harry and his friends and the world that she created. It is 100% okay if you want to boycott Harry Potter right now. If you want to distance yourself from Harry Potter or quit Harry Potter. It's also okay if you don't. Your relationship is your own. No one gets to judge you and tell you what's right for you. But I do want to remind you, and I do want to implore you to empathize to those folks who are in pain. It's valid to say that you won't read with it or engage with it now. It's not the best time to try to introduce it to somebody. My feelings are not the most important feelings. The feelings of our transgender and non-binary friends are. Listen to them. Listen to their voices. I'm going to take a moment to address my feelings on the situation and the fandom. My love of Harry Potter runs very deep. I don't think I could separate myself from it. I grew up reading these books and watching these movies. In 1997, I was 12. Harry was 11. I grew up with him. I learned with him. I learned with Ron. Ron, who at first doesn't like the idea of setting the house elves free, and then learns by listening to Hermione. Learns by figuring out that there are other ways to be in this world. There are other ways to think in this world. There are people who need help. When the world was hard, I had Harry Potter. The series was there for me. I went to release parties and felt the love of the people around. I had books spoiled for me. I had the joy of interacting with this text. I engaged in the fan culture, in the forums, in the podcasts, in the Puppet Pals, in the YouTube musicals, in the 99-second summaries, and the very loud and very passionate discussions that we Harry Potter fans have. I attended LeakyCon. I created an entire immersive theatrical educational experience based on this series that is hands down my 5 favorite days of the entire year. I found friendships in Harry Potter, in the forums, in the interactions, and in real life. I fell in love with my wife over several Harry Potter themed events and songs and moments. I bought books for my nieces. I read them with them. We had a power outage, and to be comfortable, we put on Harry Potter. I formed lasting memories with this series. JK Rowling doesn't have the power to take that away from me. or any of you, or the love you feel for the series. She doesn't have that power. Don't give it to her. But in this moment, after all of that, I wanted to speak to those folks, myself included, who've been struggling with this, who have been really trying to find the words and find a way to move forward with Harry Potter. I want to speak up for Harry Potter, but not for JK Rowling. There are many ways that you can engage with the Harry Potter series without ever giving JK Rowling a dime. If you already own the books, they're up there. I don't have to give her any more. I don't have to go see a movie ever again in theaters. I don't have to engage with Fantastic Beasts if I don't want to. Some of my favorite parts are the stuff the fandom has created, the musicals, the events, the stories, the references. All of that, all of your own creativity and your own love for the series doesn't give JK Rowling a thing. I look back on my memories and I look back on what Harry Potter means to me. And it's the people. The people are what matter. They're my friends and the families I've made along the way. They're the students that I get to teach and learn with. They're the wonderfully compassionate and creative fandom that has risen above hate so many times. They're the original artists that come to work, come to create. They're the personal experiences I have with the stories. There are good folks doing work in the Harry Potter Alliance and many other great places that the Harry Potter community has given to this world. The fans who are speaking out against JK Rowling and her stance, the community that is striving to remember that her work doesn't suck. The series doesn't teach hate. The series taught us to stand up and to fight for what we believe in, to fight for who we are. This is the same series that awarded 10 points to Neville Longbottom because it takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but even more to stand up to our friends. JK Rowling taught us to fight against hate and prejudice with love and acceptance. I can like Harry Potter. I don't need to like JK Rowling. JK Rowling wrote the words, and she wrote them very well. But she didn't give them life. She didn't give them meaning. We did. And we will continue to do so. I want to say it again. I'm done with JK Rowling. I'm not done with Harry Potter, however. JK Rowling gave Harry Potter to the world, and the world seems to understand it a heck of a lot better than she did. Our respect for JK Rowling might be gone out the window, but I hope that our respect for the books, the themes, and the stories are not. Hate is not the way. A lack of education is not the way. Closing off your mind to other people's and ideas are not the way, and these are all things that the Harry Potter books teach us. I firmly believe that education, empathy, listening, elevating voices, and taking action are the way. Feelings are valid. Feel them strong, but deal with them. You get to choose for you how you do that, and as we move forward, we must find a way to express our feelings without hate and without intolerance. These emotions don't create substantial long-term change. They create arguments. We want to be open to change. We want to be open to make our world a better place. Harry Potter could have been something that lasted for generation upon generation upon generation, but the more JK Rowling tweets and talks and damages the people of our world, the more the series will become canceled, and the more generations will not engage with it. It'll be centralized on millennials and other people who've taught it to their kids. A generation who grew up with it. A Harry Potter generation, as I've defined it before. JK Rowling is alienating people from engaging with the series. She just is. The series that means so much to so many of us, who, when we teach it and when we pass it on, we pass along the themes of love and acceptance and inclusion that are included in the text. And we want to include that to anybody and everybody who wants to find that, safe place, that place of love that we found in those pages and in that world, who wants to get that letter to go to Hogwarts. That letter that represents so much to so many of us. So many of us who would have cried gross, ugly tears if it ever came in real life. JK Rowling is stopping people from engaging with that. Will this just exist as a millennial piece of art? I think that question lies with us. It lies with the fans. It lies in the fandom. It's our choices that affect the fate of Harry Potter now. It's our choices that will keep the themes and messages and morals that we found in these pages alive. It's our choices how we choose to view Harry Potter. And it might be hard. And it might not be a thing you want to believe in anymore. There are many other stories out there who don't have transphobic authors and who don't have an author who spread hate. And if you want to engage with those more so right now, I think I do too. But that doesn't mean Harry Potter is going to leave who I am, nor the messages that it taught me. My love and respect for JK Rowling, for whatever it was, is gone. It's changed. It's diminished. But for these books, these stories, these movies, these ideas, they're more than her. They're the people, the memories, the lessons, the art, the moral center that has not changed. It doesn't mean I'm not going to look at the text critically, and it doesn't mean I'm going to look past issues in the text. I never have, I never will. But it does mean that one person can't take away from anything that I hold this dearly to my heart. They can't. But it'll change the way I interact with it. Something's broken, truthfully, and will be for a while. Will I read the Harry Potter series to escape? Someday. Sure. Might not be for a while. But when I do, those words will hit me a little bit differently. And maybe that's because the author is a little closer to Voldemort than I would like to think. She taught us to stand against hate and tyranny. And we're going to stand against you, JK Rowling, if you stand for hate and tyranny. It's been almost 25 years since I first read a Harry Potter book. My life has changed in more ways than I can know. And if I haven't changed as a person and read that text differently, then there's a bigger problem than just JK Rowling. Thank you again for watching. I really hope to hear your feedback in the comments below. Let's Talk About is hopefully a series where we can start a nuanced conversation. So please do so in the comments. Please be kind. Please be polite. Please don't spread hate. If you do, I'll delete it. It's just not what this is for. I would love to have an open conversation though. I hope that this video can help in some little way. I hope that if you are struggling, you reach out to some of the groups mentioned previously in this video and to those who can truly, genuinely help. Know that you are loved and you are supported. Love is love is love. Trans women are women. Trans men are men. Reach out. Be kind. Until next time, remember, it is our choices, Harry, that show us who we truly are, far more than our abilities.